mixed in with them. We actually started in the project, you know what I mean? So, you know, over time, you know, these all the TBOs, all my brother classmates. You know what I mean? They all ran up. Eventually, you know, he cool cat, he run with both. He ain't had nothing against the cats up the street doing their thing as long as well as the nigga he was running with in the project.
Right.
So he ended up mixing it. Like I say, him and actually him and Rock clicked real tight, man. You know, it went from there. Rock was one of the founders and starters of Corner Boy. You know what I mean? So it ran from there. Along with a whole other group of hard heads back then. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't know if I ever told this to anybody, but I'm gonna tell it now. When Rocky was Corner Boy or whatever, and I found out he was Corner Boy, me and Rocky had just became friends. And I was fascinated by everything he did. So I said, we need a rap group named Corner Boy. And he ran with it. I never told nobody that for sure. But I was like, that's the name of the rap group needs to be named Corner Boy. I just felt like he had everything.
And man, and then it caught on. Shoot, that's where it was happening at, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where they started at, that's what was happening at, it took off, you know, so why not? Make it something greater than what it was just from neighborhood street kids, you know what I mean?
Right. Right. So that's pretty much how I guess it was founded. Do you have anything you want to add on how it was founded?
I mean, for that, actually, to be honest with you, I don't know who actually, Two-Time might know, I don't know who actually came up with the Corner Boy name. Who came up with the CBO?
Man.
It was so many kids. I mean, we could probably get to the root of it, but I don't really know who actually came up with the name CBO Corner Boy.
Yeah, that shit was like a neighborhood thing. Like you had Child and Rod, Bubba, you had so many more Corner Boys that it was like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Like you say, Dog was one of
the first ones. Rocket really was like the originator of it.
Right.
And then because it was like,
you know. And I mean, like you say, I didn't know that's new to me. I didn't know that you brought it to him. The name of the Corner Boy.
I told him to run with that.
Right.
When I first met Rocky, I don't know. I don't know. We just clicked.
Yeah.
I don't know how, why. I don't know.
Yeah,
we just clicked.
Yeah, the engine, man. Just one of them type people.
And
man.
then it was like the more I seen him move, I was like, look.
Hey, look, one thing for sure. If he clicked with you, it had to be something in you because he didn't fuck with everybody.
Right.
That's for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right. Yeah, he let everybody in. But like I say, that. But anyway, like that derived from y'all conversation. So you know, when y'all was doing the rap thing, and I came in later with the shows or whatever. You know, like I say, I was a young nigga. I'm probably the youngest one out of everybody other than Two-Time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you know, it was like.
Ain't y'all about the same age?
I'm probably about a year older than Two-Time, maybe.
Yeah, he about a year.
Yeah, maybe. But like I say, that came from there, you know. And like I said, we just got behind this shit. We started introducing the different jokers, and people were liking it. And I knew a lot of people. He knew a lot of people. We started putting shows together. He actually knew a lot of cats that liked his music. So like, you know, we started getting invited to shows and all that. You know what I mean? So we all showed up. Like it was back then before we even thought about doing it. Like we just going to the shows, the Corner Boy, CBO.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. But you know, after niggas coming up, going through their trials and tribulations, you know, we all got into a little trouble. You know, most of us went away for a while. So when we came home, we was like, put together like, man, let's do this thing serious, dog. Y'all got a talent. You know what I mean? So let's make it happen. So we ended up actually linking up with Mike Larry out of Yazoo, man. We started running up there, doing recording with Stone and Rock. And Mike Larry, we didn't realize he knew as much as he knew, man. He knew the business. So, you know, he set it up from where we was actually became Corner Boy Organization Records, the label. And that's where that came from.
Well, let me ask you a question. You say you got in trouble. What you get in trouble for?
You dig now.
You know, the real one.
Hey man, you know, I was 17 then. We was young niggas, man. We was hustling, you know what I mean? I ended up, I was riding the highway real tough. You feel me?
You was how old?
I was 17 at the time. I was about to be 18.
What you got charged with?
Possession 500 grams or more. And
500 grams? Half a bird?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what they say it was anyway.
And he was 17
It's L17, real shit.
on the highway.
I got jammed in Houston, in Texas, man.
Mm.
You know what I mean? They jammed me up in Texas. You know,
Mm.
the rest was history. Shit, I came home about 8.5 months. I had to go back to Texas to do my time. You real?
Okay.
Like I say, you know, that's
So
part of the struggle. You feel me?
Well, you changed your life. You are entrepreneur now.
Yeah, pretty much, man. We doing major things on the business level. Several different ventures going on. You know what I mean? Around the city and beyond.
What do you do?
You know, my main thing, bro. I started with the trucking field, bro. Road truck, ground truck, but you know, we got a trucking company, we got real estate. You know what I mean? Got a club, you know, car lot. You know what I mean? And any other investment that a little stock here and any other investment that makes sense. You know what I mean? You got a lot of quiet, silent investment. You know, they don't have to be mentioned, but you know, it's silent.
Mm-hmm.
Get involved in that. The few things going on right now.
So, I think a key part of your success in your transition to an entrepreneur was you met a business lawyer, a music business lawyer.
Yeah, for sure. He just took the joke to the next level, man. Tracy Ramos. I got to give my props to him, man. I don't have nothing but love for him.
Yeah.
You know, like I say, Mike Larry showed us the way for us setting business up, you know what I mean, setting shows up, management, you know what I mean, doing the paperwork, make sure all your paperwork is right. I mean, let's get it all that did. And like I say, after we ran with that for about a year, man, we ended up, Mike Larry had been knowing Tracy, we've been talking to Tracy about a year, we never linked up though, you know what I mean? And when we linked up with him, he had the legalities of everything, bro. He knew a lot of people. He from New York, entertainment attorney. So you know, we linked up with him, and shit, man, it went to a whole nother level, all over the U.S. Then, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It just took us to that next step we were struggling to get over to get to. You feel?
Right. So, what happened when Corner Boy stopped operating?
Pretty boy, when you know. Differences, you know, we always young, bro. Differences in opinions, different in decisions, you know what I mean? We always doing our own thing, we always boss, you know what I mean? Every boss got their own mind, you know what I mean? So, you know, this boss might want to do something different or might not agree with what the other boss did. You feel me? So it was just clash of the titans, basically, you know what I mean? Kings at different directions at that point, you know what I mean? It wasn't agreeing on a whole lot of things, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, it just kind of drew a wedge between everybody, you know.
Right.
And we just kind of went on separate ways, but you know, as you see, it continued to go on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Continued to go on. Even though, I mean, I've been silent out the way shit probably since 2007, 2008.
Right.
So, you know, I can take my head off the stone. You know, he's still been going strong, bro. He never stopped. You know what I mean? And like I said, I never tried to stop. I never tried to silence him, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because he kept the business going. If it wasn't for him, shit, the name wouldn't even be in the air a little bit right now.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I respect all my people, man. Like I said, and that's the whole point of this thing. We trying to set them differences aside. Man. You know what I mean?
So, speaking of differences, you and Stone used to be really, really, really close.
Oh man, me and Stone. Shit, we done did shit that on the grade gonna know. You know what I mean? On the dirt can talk about. You hear me?
Well, what happened to put the distance between y'all?
Like I said, it was that's basically what I'm speaking on. Like, you know, the differences of opinions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, different opinions. You know, people grow apart. Just like any relationship, friendship. You know, grow apart. And then when you get to a certain level, you know, things don't always go the way the next person or I myself may think it should go. You know what I mean? That always builds up. If you're not mature enough at the time to sit down and talk things out, to talk about it, try to make, you know, some kind of decision on as to what direction that we need to go as a business, you know what I'm saying? Versus the difference between personal, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so that what really drives the business apart. I mean, no matter what you got going on personally or what you got going on in your life, the business should operate in the same regard, but that's what the foundation of everything.
Right. So, what are your plans for the future with Corner Boy?
Man, you know, Corner Boy is joke hard, man. We've been doing this for a long time, bro.
Right.
It's in my heart.
Right.
I mean, I've been tossing and turning ever since it hadn't been what it was. You know what I mean? But I really just can't say exactly what it is because I got my plate full right now. I got a lot going on. I want Flo to get back into doing the corner boy thing. But like as of right now, it just I don't have the time or the energy. But I do have a team that I have set forth put together that can get it going back to a level that we might be able to make some more. You know what I mean?
Right. Speaking of which, I do know you have a team that's working on marketing strategy for several things that Corner Boy has in store for the future. But let's talk about what you used to do to market your music back then.
Man, we were so young and no knowledge. And we had so many tools, but then we hit the old school, bro. We hit the streets. You know what I mean? We wrapped the van up and shit. We was from Miami to California, Las Vegas to New York. You know what I'm saying? St. Louis, Chicago, Milwaukee. We hit the streets, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and at the time we had MySpace, I think, available to us, but shit, we were so stuck in our way that we didn't even get into the internet. We probably could have been way further than where we are. We had to utilize the internet, you know what I mean? Which we didn't. You feel me? But we was old school, bro. You know? We touched a lot of corners of the U.S., bro, and in between, you know what I mean? For real.
So how did you get on the radio?
We ended up, actually Mike Larry knew one of the DJs at 99. So, you know, it was like, man, y'all get y'all spins, we fucking with you. We started off in the party check and the overnights and shit, you know how that shit goes through. You know what I mean? So, you know, eventually we worked it up to where they started fucking with us on being on here, local level. You know, they saw we was working. And they couldn't deny it. You know what I mean? And after we did that, we ended up meeting the radio promoter, Damon Shields. Man, he's from Mississippi, but he was based in Houston. I can't remember how we linked up with Damon. I think it was Mike Larry. Mike Larry he had a few relationships with the radio station. He had Baton Rouge, you know, he was doing TSU in Texas, you know what I mean? Then he had a couple other stations he was dealing with. He reached out, man. They showed, you know, send out EPK back then, EPK electronic press kit with all your work and what you're doing, your music. But he shot it out to a few folks, man, and they was fucking with us. You know what I mean? So he kind of took off from there with those, you know.
Okay. So you went to this event they call TJ DJs.
Oh.
That don't happen anymore. Tell us about TJ DJs.
Man, TJ DJ was the Instagram of the game back then. You know, the Joker, if TJ put the thumbprint on you, man, you out here. That TJ was the Plies, you know, they Plies showcased that. That one he took out. Gucci Man showcased that. That one he took out. You know what I mean? The boy B.O.B. Shit, that would kill TJ DJ, because once he got with B.O.B., blew him up, he went on the road management with him, so they kind of got away from the TJ DJ thing, you know what I mean? Even with T-Pain, you know what I mean? We been on stage with all these kids, that's where they started at. He showcased them. When that Tastemaker CD, you get on there, you out of here. So you know what I'm saying? He putting his print on it, he's signing that. And everybody that he touched back then, bro, he had connects, you know what I mean? The industry people was looking for whatever he co-signed.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we did that, man. Shit, we probably did that about 5 years straight. You know what I mean? Just full with that. You know? Okay. That was in Tallahassee, Florida. You know what I mean?
All right, so let's go a different direction. What is loyalty? What does loyalty mean to you?
Man, you can't buy it. You can't pay for it. It's a vision, man. It's a show. It's a feeling. You feel me? You know what I mean? Somebody fucking with you, they ain't never cross you in no kind of way, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Loyalty is I can lay down and go sleep right now with you and ain't got to worry about no harm. No snake shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it ain't that people ain't got away from that, man. It ain't that no more. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Loyalty is deeper than what they saying, you know. This my guy, this my nigga, I fuck with you, but you can't just tell me that. You got to show that, you know what I'm saying? Right. And vice versa, I got to show that. Right. You feel me?
Right. So, is your team loyal?
Yeah, definitely. Shit, we wouldn't be trying to put it back together, it wouldn't. It was just differences of mind. The team loyal to the end, cause we might not be every day, but we still here and there, you know what I'm saying? We still keep in contact. I mean, we ain't running from each other when we see each other. We ain't got them, ain't no beef. You know what I mean?
I've been on. Me and Tony had a talk a couple of weeks ago, and ever since we had this talk, I've been stuck on this concept. You are the strongest of the team.
Most definitely.
Like I'm stuck on this.
Most definitely.
Like it's like it took him to re-say it to me for me to re-realize what it meant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what the difference in team now in the new era? It's went from team to game. You know what I mean? They screaming gang now. We used to scream team.
Right.
So everybody's in your gang, in your team. I mean, they're not for affiliation for as claiming a set, but your people is your gang. Your people is your team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And those are the people that you feel that's the most loyal to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what makes the strength of the team. Everybody loyal and moving in one. You know, that's what your boy Meech say. You know, everybody move as a unit, move as one. You know what I mean?
Right.
That will make the team strong. You feel me?
So, to you, in your own words, what does the Corner Boy represent?
Shit, the city. You feel me? I ain't gonna say we the first to do it, but we did it goddamn good. You hear me?
Yeah.
And we didn't come up with a name, Corner Boy. That started from the neighborhood.
Right.
That's actually what it say. You know what I mean? Young kids, you know, came from nothing.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Man, it used to be cats that you ever seen that corner when that was back in the day when you had 20, 30 niggas on the corner when it was real live chasing cars.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And to go from that to where we are today, bro, that discipline.
Right.
You know, there's been some bumps and been some bruises, there's been some casualties, you know what I mean? But that's life though.
Right.
That will make us stronger, you know what I mean?
Right. Okay, let's see. The music industry. You think it's parallel to the streets?
To a certain extent.
Elaborate.
What niggas talk about is street shit. But every nigga that talk that shit ain't street. You do what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got some real live cats out here that's rapping what they speaking. You know what I mean? Good or bad, you feel me? But it's their story. You got some cats out here rapping about what they done seen and what they done heard, but never lived it. You know what I mean? I mean, I can't knock them because they eating off of it at the same time. You know, preach what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, it might have been around. It might have been some cats that's rapping that's been around the lifestyle. You feel me? So I mean, they get credit too, though.
Right.
You feel me? You can't jump out off the porch straight screaming what you saw looking from the porch. You got to be out there in the mix of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You
Right.
feel me?
Right. So, what knowledge did you gain from the street, and how did you apply it in business and vice versa?
The streets is a business. You got to manage 30 niggas. 20 niggas you got to try to keep in check. You got to keep from temperatures rising. When an incident go down, I remember times niggas lay down for me. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But I was the mediator. No, we good. We don't, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Trying to keep the peace, but your team is only strong as the head is.
Right.
You know, that's why everybody with us was the head, because everybody understood that.
Right.
You know, when you got 20 niggas with you that's king, and they got 10 niggas with them, that's a squad.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to pay to control that squad, man.
Right.
Because everything ain't going to fall back on you.
Right.
You feel me? They ain't going to say, Lil Dad did that. They going to say, Jalu did that.
Right.
2 Times did that, bro did that.
Right.
Nowhere in the mix. You was just there when it happened to one of your guys from the mix did it. But all they know is you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to guide them in the right direction too, you feel me?
So, if you could do anything different than 20 years ago, what would you do?
Man, I think I would have did more investment, man. If I knew then, I would have did more investment. And probably would have been, it would have benefited more of everybody, you know what I'm saying? Then. Because the circle we had then was strong, and we had all knew about the investment part of it, the business part of it. Versus just running wild and just trying to, we were actually doing what we love, but at the same time we weren't gaining, we were losing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we had to put that engine into something that was going to circulate and generate. Then, you know, where would we be today?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even through the losses and the struggle.
Right.
we still would have been good because somebody would have been there to hold the fort down. The team would have been still going strong. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.